So if you thought the 2023 general elections were the last of the era of massive rigging, massive manipulation, glitches, electoral confusion, malpractice, and all forms, where technology that was employed to help salvage our electoral process was not the tool that was used to further deepen illegality and criminality. If you thought that we would not have glitch, that INEC, one of the shocking expose of the 2023 election was that we're hearing that if there was a comma in this section of the constitution, maybe that would have meant something else. That's how much it was disastrous. This time Bola Tinubu says, hold it, wait. If you reach your turn, do free and fair election. He's taking us back to where we are coming from. And this time he's engaged the services of Professor Joash Ojo Amupitan, who, with all due respect, is a professor and a senior advocate of Nigeria. Very rare to have a professor and an SAN in one person. But this particular person is a former member or a member of the 2023 legal team that went to defend Bola Tinubu and Kazim Shettima, the 2023 Presidential Petition Tribunal. That's how terrible. Now, if you understand the Nigerian political dynamics and the judicial jurisprudence and all of you have been issue, you understand that engaging somebody to do something for you at a particular time, whether to prosecute or to defend, doesn't mean that the person is your full-time employment or is in your full-time employment. It's just services rendered at a particular point. But now, the strategic engagement of this person is something to worry about. So this man wasn't just a professor and an SAN that Tinubu has known, but he was also drafted to being part of the membership of that particular legal team that defended Tinubu and Shettima. All of the rituals, remember all of the nonsense you heard. The FCT Abuja, the Beavers issue. Now, I'll take you through into something that got me really worried. And like I said, if you understand the Nigerian the dynamics of our legal system, you understand, okay, you can be engaged to defend somebody today, and tomorrow you are prosecuting somebody else. It doesn't matter. People have a few persons, somebody that may have 2019, I think there were lawyers, professional ones that defended Atiku, right? In 2023, they may not have been in the Atiku's camp. It doesn't mean that they were not open to it, but they were not selected. Now, a May 4, 2023, March 4th, 2023 article from Vanguard would interest you in this whole process and why I am worried. He says the headline is Presidential Poll, Tinubu Constitute Legal Team Against Atiku and Obi, March 4th, 2023. I will read a section of that article, and that's why I feel that having somebody in that team that defended this thing that I'm going to read now to healthy INEC is not healthy for our democracy. Now listen, the complaint over electronic transmission of results is not supported by law. And this is the lawyers, the legal team of Tinubu and Shettima speaking now. Of course, I think if you go and read the full article, current Minister of Aviation and former spokesperson of the campaign, Festus Keyamo, Dele Alake, who is now currently the Minister of Finance, was also speaking. Section 38 of the Electoral Act 2022, referred to by the PDP and Labour Party, had nothing to do with the transmission of electoral results. Section 60, subsection 2 of the Act deals with the transmission of results, and it is at this discretion, and this is where I worry. It is at the discretion of INEC. The Act does not contain any mandatory provision regarding the transmission of results. Listen, in any case, the process of transmitting results from polling unit, whether real time, 2 days later, or at any time, cannot in any way change the results that have been announced right after the counting in the presence of the party agent and to the hearing of the voters. It is therefore nonsensical to insinuate that time variation in uploading results will cause a change in the figures. Now, this is where I worry. A man that joined a legal team to defending this, to stating this, because Beavers being introduced to our electoral process was supposed to be the game changer. Professor Jega, Professor Yakub Mahmoud, all of these guys spoke highly about Beavers. And we saw the advantage that Beavers could produce. If, for example, the 2020 elections and a couple of, in Edo State and a couple of others, there were a glimmer of hopes. You could see sparkles of hope here and there. But we thought that the 2023 election would be that opportunity, the open feed for us to display that our democracy has come to stay. INEC promised Nigerians that apart from all of the things that we're going to do, that we should go to bed, that there will be real-time transmission of election results from polling unit to beavers, all of us, to IRS, through beavers, all of us can be able to see. At the end of the day, that wasn't done. It was a deliberate criminal heist against the political will of Nigerians. Now, somebody that was part of that legal team that said it doesn't matter, even if it's 2 days later, it doesn't matter. As that when the matter was even high or very intense in the court, they will see some polling units that have not been uploaded. So somebody that went to defend that cause and said INEC has nothing to answer, that is who is now heading INEC. So you see the strategic deliberate. Let me advise Nigerians. In 2023, election results were called hours after the election. In 2027, Professor Joash Ojo-Amopita will declare Bola Tinubu winner of the election 48 hours before the election. Go and write it down.